Beat Street Breakdown, rah! This year, hip-hop is celebrating the 40th anniversary of the movie Beat Street, one of the most iconic hip-hop movies ever made. I've seen things like Nas screening it, to all the way to people just talking about it and having gatherings just based on celebrating the anniversary of the movie. Is really cool. It's so cool that a big film studio like Orion Pictures put a movie together that brought all four elements of hip-hop on the big screen. And it was produced by Harry Belafonte. I'm not gonna go over the history of the movie because I'm pretty sure there's plenty videos out there and Wikipedia and all of that good stuff. What I wanna talk about is how the movie impacted me and some of the funny stories along the way and how I am indirectly linked to the movie. First, I wanna tell y'all a quick funny story about the movie and going to see the movie. When the movie came out, I was living at my grandmother's house in the Bronx. A bunch of us went at a matinee showing to the Interborough Theater on East Tremont Avenue. I remember that much. When we got to the theater was packed, so we had to split the squads up. My brother, God rest his soul, went with half the squad to way deep to the right of the theater, and I went with the rest of the squad to the left side of the theater. This is a little funny story. After the iconic battle at the Roxy between Rocksteady and the New York City Breakers, or the Bronx Rockers versus the Beat Street Breakers, my brother gets up in the middle of the theater. The film is still going on. There's plenty of movies still left. He gets up from his seat, runs across the theater. Everybody sees him run. He comes right to my seat after the battle and he goes, "Aunt, who won?" It was amazing. My little cute, funny story, man. I miss my brother, man. God rest his soul, man. Here's where things become really interesting about this movie. The movie came out in June. My birthday's in June as well. So a few weeks after the movie dropped and we saw it and we were geeking over the movie and, doing our best to imitate scenes and things like that. Now, I can't explain how things unfolded. All I could say is whether you believe in God or the universe or fate or whatever, or how things get written out. This is what happened to my life. It's really trippy. So imagine, this movie drops. Everybody that is in love with hip hop at that time, everybody had seen the movie, everybody was geeking over the movie, and there were superstars from the movie. One of them being the Rocksteady crew, each member. Crazy Legs, Baby Love, Buck 4, Qunique, Ken Swift, and Devious Doze specifically because they were in Beat Street. So shortly after we see this movie, members of Rocksteady, specifically Buck 4 and his brother who was in the Hot Beat Rockers, Flex, started coming to my grandmother's block to hang out with the older dudes. I can't even explain it. Just imagine we're a bunch of young kids. We just saw this movie and all of a sudden there's Buck 4. The Turtle Master, and he's hanging out with the older dudes on the block. So we're tripping. On top of the fact that Flex, his younger brother, started coming over to our little, we had a little cardboard or piece of linoleum or something. So we would be breaking in the street and he came over and he started breaking with us and teaching us moves and just watching us and critiquing us and all of that stuff. It was surreal. When I look at it, it doesn't make sense. Aside from the fact that it's just part of my journey, this winding road, this crazy path that I went on to get to where I am today, that is part of my earliest memories of just me dipping my toe in the water to become who I became as qunique. As I said, my birthday's in June. So the highlight of this year, after seeing Beat Street, is that on my birthday, one of the older dudes that Buck 4 and them was hanging out with decides for my birthday to bring Crazy Legs to my grandmother's house. Insane, man. It was just insane. It was super surreal because at that time, he was the dude. You know what I mean when I say the dude? He's that guy. He was that guy. So to have him show up to my grandmother's house, I'm just a kid. He's what we would consider a rock star at that time. And I remember I was young, I was a kid. So I remember just being overly hospitable, hey, you want to come in? I introduced him to my grandmother. I said, you want some birthday cake? All of that. And he was just like, nah, I'm good. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, little man. And it just made my year, my years. It was insane. It was insane. It was a perfect birthday gift for a young, impressionable kid who would gradually go into doing hip hop or becoming a member of the hip hop community. Years and years later, I become a member of the Rocksteady crew. I'm gonna save that story for another video about my experiences with Rocksteady. What I will say, and this is fascinating, imagine re-watching Beat Street with Crazy Legs sitting next to you, and he's just breaking down behind the scenes stuff. He's breaking down historic facts. It was almost like having a director's commentary on the DVD. You know what I mean? It meant everything to me as somebody who was on the come up of my own journey in music, specifically at that time in hip hop. And then to take it even further, becoming a member of Rocksteady at that time, which is like early 90s. Now I'm Rocksteady members with Ken Swift, Mr. Wiggles, Fable. These are all dudes that were in the movie. And these are all legends and important people in hip hop. Not only that, they were like big brothers to me. They were giving me wisdom and knowledge. I know I keep on using the word, but it's surreal to have that kind of an experience when you're on a journey. And you gotta understand, when I decided to do what I do as a lyricist, at first, I really didn't have a clear understanding of what it was that I was trying to become a part of. The Rocksteady crew made it clear for me. They made me understand what hip hop was. They made me understand the science of it, the soul of it, the mind of it, the math of it, everything about it. Each member. Beyond Rocksteady, and because of Rocksteady, I had the opportunity to sit and just hang out with people like Melly Mel, who I was able to pick his brain and ask him questions about MCing and history of MCing. And then one of the craziest things, I remember me and Crazy Legs, we was in the city and we went to some event and there was Robert Taylor, Lee. And I got to meet the main character of Beat Street. Incredible, man. It was incredible. Another crazy way that I'm linked indirectly to this movie is that one of the first managers I've ever had is Ahmed. Ahmed is a member of Shango, and Shango has a scene in the Roxy where they're singing the song Frantic Situation. Can't make this shit up. Happy 40th anniversary to Beat Street and everyone involved. One of the greatest hip hop movies of all time. I'm qunique, got a story to tell. Beat Street!